Hi, I'm Kelly and I draw things, and here are some common artist fears that I've experienced and some tips I use to work through them. So a really common artist fear is comparing yourself to others' work. For me, I compared myself to artists online in terms of followers, sale numbers, and just kind of their art style in general. So this wasn't fair to my past self, and to help me stop comparing myself to others, I had to remind myself we are at different points in our creative career. So let's use hiking as an example. I'm standing at the foot of the mountain. I just parked my car, got out, looking up at it. The mountain is a symbol for a creative career. And like I said, I haven't even started climbing. I'm just looking up at it, just got there. This is me starting my creative journey. And I'm kicking myself because there are already people further up the mountain than me as I look up the mountain trail. And I hadn't even gotten to the trail yet. But what I didn't realize was they started their climb way before I did. So of course they are further along than I am. Now I could try to run really fast to catch up with them, but I'm gonna get burnout. Think of like tortoise in the hare situation. But as long as I take it one step at a time and pay attention to my hike as I go up the mountain, I'll get there eventually. And where I need to be might not even be where they are. It might be a different path or a whole different mountain because I'm a different person than they are. Or I start climbing this mountain, I see a mountain way over there and I'm like, wow, that mountain looks so much better. So I work my way down and I go back and I start climbing that mountain instead. It's called a career change. And starting over in a different direction is okay too. It's not a race at all. It's just enjoying the journey as you go through your creative career. I found the only person I should be comparing my work to is my past self and my past work. This allows me to look at my growth as an individual, and really that's kind of the only way to do it. There are so many different aspects in my life that affect my work, it's kind of impossible to compare it to other people. For example, I come from a different family dynamic than other people, different trauma, different financial situation, and it's okay if I'm not in the same place as them because I might be in a different, further along place than them in other ways that I just don't realize. So as long as I'm focusing on me and not worrying about anyone else, I'm happier. Which sounds like advice you get in kindergarten, right? Worry about yourself. There is some merit to that. I've actually found a lot of like kindergarten lessons are really applicable throughout life. Now, all of this is easier said than done. And even now, knowing all of that, I'm still envious of different people at different points in their career than I am. I can take all those minutes where I'm just thinking, oh, I really wish I had done that. Da, da, da. No, that doesn't actually help me. So take all of those worry minutes and put them into productivity minutes and I'll be better off. So instead of thinking about them, I try to think about my own work. And that is hard, but it gets easier the more you do it. And appearances aren't always what they seem. Even if someone seems really successful in one area, they might not be as successful in a different area that you just don't know about. For example, I follow an artist online with hundreds of thousands of followers, and the other day she was talking about how she's applying to these Comic-Con shows to sell her work and she's getting rejected. And she pointed out that she is still failing and learning in her creative career. So take appearances online with a grain of salt. It's great to admire other people's work, but try not to compare yourself one-on-one and just focus on your own progress. Another really common artist fear is fear of negative reactions. For example, criticism is a negative reaction. I went to art school and it's really common to have critiques where you take your work, everyone did the assignment, you put it up on the wall and you all talk about it and you get feedback. And some people get really nervous about this for a variety of reasons. For me, it was the fear of someone being really mean to me on something I worked really hard on. Now, did that ever happen? No, not really, because everyone else is also terrified, so everyone's in the same boat. But something that helped me that I just read online one time, and it's really shifted my approach to criticism, especially online criticism, is don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't ask for advice. So if I wouldn't walk up to this person on the street and ask them advice of how to improve my work, I'm not going to take any criticism they randomly throw at me unsolicited. And I'm not going to pay attention to their opinion at any other time. This also applies online, like when someone feels the need to critique your work when not being asked for their opinion, which is rude. Don't do that. And usually I just block them, because people who feel the need to constantly voice their opinion online without being asked, especially about other people's art, aren't my kind of people. I don't respect them and I don't want to have any future interactions with them. Another negative reaction in this category is fear of rejection, which I have dealt with so much in the past year. I had this opportunity to work on this project with a publisher and it's a really great opportunity. and I was really excited about it, and then I got in my own head and I freaked myself out about it. And I had been avoiding working on the project for 11 months because I was like, what if I work really hard on it and I fall in love with it, I'm really excited about it, and then they don't want it, and I'm like crushed. Because it's scary to put so much of your heart into something and then have someone not care about it, and then have someone tell you it's not good enough. I have since finished the project, and I got through it by researching the hell out of what I was working on. To make myself feel more comfortable with the material, I learned everything about it. And I waited 11 months. This made the importance and life and death feeling of it kind of fade over time. And with it being less precious, it was less stressful. So sometimes walking away and taking a break from something is actually the right answer. But I also realized I'd be more disappointed in myself if I didn't take advantage of the opportunity at all, versus the disappointment I would fear if I was rejected. So I got it done, I sent it in, and I got some good responses. Because sometimes we are the hardest on ourselves when other people might really like it and we're just really worried about it for no reason. All right, another fear is self-expression. For me, when I was younger, it was the fear of people finding out I like to read manga and I like to watch cartoons, because everyone else seemed to be moving on to like a more mature consumption of media. And I would do fan art of these things and not show them to anyone. Eventually, I got over this and realized the only way to find other people that like the stuff you like is to show the world that you like it, and to tell people that you're interested in that stuff. There's a poem by Shel Silverstein that illustrates this so well, and I'll read it to you now. It is called Masks. She had blue skin and so did he. He kept it hid and so did she. They searched for blue their whole life through, then passed right by and never knew. So what they're saying is if you hide your true self, you could be missing opportunities to make connections with like-minded people. And I know this because this happened to me. Because 10 years later, I was sitting in a classroom at art school with all the other art people that I had come to know and love, and we were discussing all the shows and books we read in junior high school. And lo and behold, every single one of them had the same experience I did. We all read the same books, we watched the same shows, and I finally found my people. Now, it may take a while for you to find your people, but they are out there somewhere. You just need to be in the right place at the right time and be yourself. And if people are mean to you about it, first of all, that's rude. But two, think about the fear of criticism we just talked about. Would you ask this person for advice? No. Then don't pay any attention to their other opinions, because they just aren't your people. Another artist's fear is fear of investment. Now, this could be time or money, but for me, it is investment of time. There are not enough hours in the day for everything I want to do. What are my long-term creative career goals, and is what I'm doing helping me reach them? If yes, cool, and if not, and I still want to do it, doesn't make me happy. Yes, then do it. I think there needs to be a balance between things you do that benefit you and things you do that make you happy. Theoretically, they would, be one and the same, but that's not always the case. So hopefully there's a lot of overlap in there. But as long as you're moving forward, I don't think there is a wrong direction. Because at least you'll be learning what not to do, and sometimes that's even more valuable than learning what to do. However, standing still doesn't do anything, so any direction is better than no direction. So a commonality with all of these different fears is self-doubt. But I found educating myself, learning more about the topic, finding like-minded people, and just accepting that I do things my own way and that's okay, helped me with a lot of these fears. And hopefully they'll help you too. If you like this video, you also might like this video where I talk about the worst art advice I've ever gotten. And I'm Kelly, I draw things, and thanks for watching. Bye.